Welcome everybody, Joseph James here, schooltrade.com, April 23rd, 2010. Here's your live trading recap. Hope you guys had a good day in the room today. Finished up a great week here, challenging week. We'll talk more about that in a second for you guys. I want to remind you guys we have a brand new resource for you. Our blog has now got a new format here, and we've just added a brand new search box to that blog. Now, right below the video, there's a link that takes you right to our blog. Guys, I would encourage you, use that search box. Any terms you guys want to learn more about, whether it be market profile, tape reading, support and resistance, trade management, maybe you want to take a couple of the quizzes we've done before, maybe you want to read some articles we've written, some setup processes, all of that can be found in the blog, guys. And don't forget, if you have a question for us, if you want to learn more about a specific topic, email us or post the question in the blog, and you might just see your question answered here in a live trading recap. All right, guys, so make sure you guys use that blog. 3 trades today. Now, it's kind of ironic today. When we opened up the room this morning, my exact words were, all we need is 2 or 3 trades today to make our money. And what do you know? There's our 3 trades. We took a lot of time to watch some patterns this morning. We saw a bunch of bad patterns, a couple good ones. We took the good ones. We made some money on it. All right, so good job today, guys. The big thing, though, I think today, big reason why we're so happy that today was well, is we got through that losing day on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole, but we used a very simple technique. If you didn't see that technique, go back to our blog and search for the previous video on Wednesday, April 21st, and you'll see that video and how we went through that process. But that got us back on track, and as you can see, on the 22nd, on Thursday, we got back out of the hole, and then today we finished up a great strong week with a good 67 ticks, 755 out of the mark today. So we finished up just shy of $1,200 this week after that losing day. The biggest thing was getting that confidence back on track, getting back to our normal routine of making money every day. So as you can see, we're now over $31,000 for the year here, almost to $7,000 for the month of April so far. It's been a challenging month. We'll keep you guys posted the rest of the month. And what's the most important thing that happened today? Well, today was a Friday, so it's, of course, we expect the unexpected. Lots of weird things happen on Fridays. Of course, we expect the day to come to an end a little bit earlier. The same reason why you and I want to get out from behind these desks, go have some fun outside this weekend, is the same reason why the day traders are going to be leaving early as well. So with not much news this morning, we only had 8:30 and then 10 o'clock news. Didn't have very much going on today. And for some reason, I think maybe Mr. Obama's teleprompter had broken yesterday or something like that, but he wasn't speaking today. So one of the only Fridays we've seen in quite a while, we didn't have any politician trying to wiggle their way in front of the camera today. So there wasn't really much going on, but there wasn't anybody speaking either. So we really, of course, had to let this day kind of develop in front of us. We had a tough week so far, so we wanted to make sure we really followed those rules. Let's start by watching the dollar index first, and then we'll look at the first move of the day. Now, we also always open up the dollar. We start with our slower time from the dollar, and we looked at the ATR this morning. Now, let's look and see. Now, of course, we've seen on the dollar, we've seen a lot of this chopping, chopping back and forth in the dollar lately. You can see in the dollar here, we've marked up our highs, right, and our lows from yesterday, and we pretty much stayed right inside of those highs and lows throughout the entire day today. Now, what really, of course, made us, obviously understand this a little better was the ATR. ATR here on the right side, you'll notice here as of 8 a.m., ATR began to rise. So this was a relatively decent sign in the market. Even though we were still going sideways, at 8 o'clock this morning, we began to get our technical preparations the day ahead, setting up our charts, identifying the day ahead for us. We see the ATR rising. Now remember, it's not so important that we look at the actual number on the ATR. It's more important we look at the relationship of where it is now to where it was before. So of course, we're seeing the ATR rise right here as of 8 o'clock. That gave us something good to look forward for the rest of the morning. Let's take a look at, though, the ATR a little bit closer here. Now, we saw a great example today on crude on using the ATR. And the first move of the day, remember we always look at that first move of the day, and sometimes we have to wait for the first move to pass us by to get a better look at the market and then wait for the better trades later on in the morning. Now, here's a close-up of the ATR on crude. And you'll notice this was during the first move of the day. Now, can we tell right now what the ATR looks like right here? Okay. Pretend for a second you can't see the number on the side. Okay, what would this ATR tell us? It would not really tell us very much, right? As you can see, we're not at the lows, we're not at the highs, right? We're kind of right in the center there. So the ATR is kind of mixed right here. So if you just open up your charts and you looked at the ATR on the crude at 8 o'clock, you would probably say, yeah, looks fine to me, let's keep going. But now let's zoom out real quick. And remember, guys, the big picture on the ATR is where are we in comparison to where we were previously, 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, 5 weeks ago. Okay, so we're going to use this as a relative comparison tool. Now, this is the same ATR chart, except now I've zoomed out. Now, to do that, in NinjaTrader, hold down the control button, tap the up arrow, right? Control and the up arrow, that will allow you to squish it together, and you can see more information. Now, what does it look like? Yeah, much different story now. Now we can see, where are we? It doesn't matter where we are. We can clearly see we are at the lows of the ATR from earlier this week. But remember, if we went back one slide and looked at it here as a close-up, you would have no ability to tell what the big picture looked like. Then we zoom out and bam, we can see right away. It doesn't matter what the price action looks like on our charts. The ATR is screaming at us right now. Wait a little bit longer. Let's give this market a little bit of time to wake up. Now, later on in the morning, it actually ended up jumping to the upside for us, but this is the first move of the day, and I really wanted to show you guys, don't be afraid. Squish it together, look and see what happened previous days, and then use that as your guide. All right, so good example there in ATR.